Alright everybody, welcome back to the fitness channel. Today we have another hard-hitting video for you, this time on the topic of calories. Now, you might not know it, but a calorie is more than just something that you eat. It's also a unit of scientific measurement. Technically, a calorie is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. Also, if you remember from your high school science class, there's also another unit of energy called a joule, and you can convert back and forth between the two. I have it in front of me. 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules. So bottom line, a calorie is a very small unit of energy. Now we're all familiar with the idea of calories because we see them every day in the nutrition labels of the food that we eat. So for example, I have here a child size bag of goldfish. And on the back in big numbers, it says 130 calories. But what it's not telling you is that these are actually kilocalories or thousands of calories. And so it's not 130 calories that you're eating, it's 130,000. Having said that, outside of a laboratory setting or a science class, normally when people say calories, they mean these kilocalories. So just something to keep in mind. So a lot of people care about calories because they're trying to lose weight.
Dude, we've been through this, okay? I'm cultivating mass.
Stop saying that. You are not cultivating mass. And if you are, stop cultivating and start harvesting.
And if you are trying to lose weight, you need to know two things. First, the amount of calories that you consume, and second, the amount of calories that you're burning. By the way, if you're interested in losing weight, I have an entire playlist from a weight loss challenge that I did where I explain the whole process front to back, give you all the information you need to know. So go ahead and find that on my channel. Knowing the amount of calories that you consume, that's actually pretty easy. All you have to do is add up the amount of calories from the back of the nutrition labels of the food that you're eating, or you can look online, you add them up throughout the day, and there you go, calories consumed or calories in. Knowing the amount of calories that you burn, that's quite a bit harder, and there's kind of a couple ways that you can go about it. One way is you could go to a laboratory or a university with a sports medicine department. What they'll do is they'll hook you up to some kind of complicated machines with wires and tubes running everywhere. You do the exercise that you're interested in, and they'll tell you exactly how many calories you burn. I don't recommend that. There's a much easier way that I'm going to show you. And this way is admittedly not as precise, but the good news is for the purposes of losing weight, you don't need to be totally precise. You can just be in the ballpark. What we're going to do is use something called the Compendium of Physical Activities. Not a lot of people know about this. You go to the website pacompendium.com and you find the latest version. So right now, as of the time of this video, there's the 2011 version, that's the latest. But you can see right here, there is supposed to be a 2024 version coming out. So my recommendation, whenever you look at this video, go ahead and just go to this website. You'll find the latest version here. You navigate around this page and you find the compendium here in the Compendia page. When you pull it up, it looks something like this. So there's a lot of information here. You can see it's a 17-page PDF document. You've got a few things. The first thing you've got is this exercise code, just a numeric code. Then you have this major heading of exercise, and then the specific activity, which is sort of a subheading of the major heading. So the way you read it is bicycling, and then there's all sorts of subcategories of bicycling that you can look at. You'll notice that I skipped over this column here labeled METs. This is actually the information that we're looking for. What is a MET? A MET is a metabolic equivalent, and it's basically the amount of energy that you use just sitting around, being quiet, essentially doing nothing. And it's also defined as 1 kilocalorie per kilogram per hour. To find this base level of calories that you burn just sitting doing nothing, which is the meaning of 1 MET, that's equal to 1 MET, it's very easy. All that you have to do is convert your weight from pounds to kilograms. So for example, if you weigh 155 pounds, that's approximately 70 kilograms. And using the information I gave you a second ago, that equates to burning 70 kilocalories, or we're going to refer to it as just calories, 70 calories per hour. Now here's the magic. If you want to know how many calories any given exercise burns or any given activity burns, all that you have to do is multiply that baseline number of 1 met, which is equal to your weight in kilograms, by the multiplier of any given activity. Let me pick an example to make this clear. Let's use an entry from the table that's easy to calculate. We're going to use this one right here. So I want to know how many calories I burn bicycling at less than 10 miles an hour, a leisurely pace, for work or for pleasure. And I notice that my MET multiplier is 4. So how many calories do I burn per hour with this given exercise? It's pretty simple. All that I have to do is take my weight in kilograms. Let's assume that I weigh 155 pounds.
Right.
I don't. But if I did, that would be 70 kilograms. And then I just multiply that by the MET number right here, in this case 4. So for 1 hour of this activity, 70 times 4 is 280 calories. If I do it for a half an hour, I take half of that, 140. If I do it for 2 hours, that's 560. You get the point. It's pretty simple. And we're just remembering that although this formula is technically giving us kilocalories, which is sort of scientifically correct, I'm using just the word calorie because that's how we refer to it in everyday life. One of the cool things about this document is that it is super extensive. Basically, any activity or exercise that you could want to find information on is here, or a close analogy. And then some weird ones too. For example, there's praying. If you ever wondered how many calories you burn praying super hard in church, it's here. Another one that I found was cooking Indian bread in particular on an outside stove, which, if you'll note, is a couple times more intensive than praying super hard. Don't ask me who came up with these categories or why, but they're all here. One thing you're probably interested in, or at least curious about, is what exercises or activities burn the most calories. And so a cool way that you can use this sheet is just to look at the number of METs and you can figure that out. I've highlighted a couple here that are among the highest. So 16 METs for bicycling, mountain competitive racing. What else do we have here? 17.5 METs for axe chopping, very fast forestry, 51 blows per minute. What else do we have? Running, as you would expect, is one here. It's well represented, all sorts of different speeds. The highest at 23 METs, which might be the largest MET number on this entire sheet. Running at 14 miles an hour, which is a 4.3 minute mile. That is sprinting. And then this other one that jumped out at me was cross-country skiing uphill at 15.5 METs. So the point of using this sheet is not to try to calculate down to the individual calorie how many calories some activity is burning for you. It's really just meant to get you in the ballpark so you have an idea of how many calories you're burning and you can compare that to the amount of calories you're consuming. And that's really all you need for the purposes of weight loss. Another interesting way to use this sheet is to find exercises that will burn the most calories, or compare two different kinds of exercises to see which one is more worth your time. Well, there you go. More fitness knowledge dropped on you with the force of 1,000 atomic bombs. I hope that you learned something today that helps you along your fitness journey, that helps you to get healthier or just to reach your goals, whatever they are. And with that being said, I think we're done for today. If you like what you see, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next time.